Hey, what's up, guys? I want to do this quick video here before the game. I'm pumped for the game, the England game against the Ukraine. I just watched Denmark versus the Czech Republic game, and that was a fantastic game. Thought Denmark was great. They deserve to win. But this video is about England's. I just saw that we just got the lineups for England and the Ukraine in the upcoming game. I'm super excited to talk to you guys a little bit about that, the lineups. So I'm going to share my screen. Look, actually, there aren't that many huge changes in the England lineup. We have Pickford in goal, obviously. He's England's goalkeeper at the moment. And then we have Luke Shaw, who's played very well as left back. So there's no surprise there. You would expect to see at this point in the tournament. I don't think he's going to mess with that. I don't think Southgate is going to mess with that anymore. I think Luke Shaw will be left back. And the same goes for Kyle Walker. I think he won the sort of the competition for right back against, I guess Trippier would be the second most likely candidate to start. Most likely, or James, but I think Trippier would probably be the one to start if Walker didn't start. But I think Walker is, again, like Luke Shaw, he's won that competition to be starting right back. Unless they play with three in the back, and then he usually starts with Maguire and Stones, which are certainly that they've consolidated their position as the starting center backs. So no surprise there. And I think that's a very strong defense. I think that's a solid defense that England has. I think their biggest weakness is perhaps Pickford. I'm not so convinced by Pickford, but he's been doing an okay job so far. Obviously could be better. They could have a better goalkeeper. We're not talking about Neuer here or Courtois or even, hell, not even Rui Patricio here. This is Pickford is in my opinion, he's a pretty average goalkeeper, but still he gets the job done. And then in midfield, sort of the same story. Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips have consolidated themselves as the starting center midfielders, and they've been doing a pretty good job. They've been playing well, and they had a good season, both of them, and they've had a good term with England. And this has actually been surprisingly, in my opinion. I look at England and I think of all the attacking talent they have, but really the big strength of this team with Gareth Southgate, at least so far in the tournament, has been in essence not conceding goals. So this lineup here has obviously been working. And look, these are good players. They're all important players for their clubs in the Premier League. So they're getting the job done. Now, a couple of changes in attack. Harry Kane keeps the spot. I think it would have been a big surprise not to see Harry Kane up front, just because of the stature of Harry Kane. He's the captain, he's the big star. He's not playing well. I mean, he's playing terribly, I would argue. The only thing he's done so far in the tournament was scoring that last goal in the game against Germany. That's about it. Other than that, he's looked terrible. Still, he's Harry Kane, so it'd be hard to put him on the bench. Even though I look at the England bench, and this would be probably the last opportunity to do that, Marcus Rashford, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, that's about it. But both of those players, especially in my opinion, Marcus Rashford, would be very tempting. If I were the manager, I would be very tempted to try something different, because Harry Kane is really not performing in this Euro Cup. He's just looks like he's asleep. But we'll see this game. Maybe he wakes up. Now, Sterling, he's been fantastic. I think if he didn't start this game, it would be probably because he wanted to rest him, which would be a reasonable decision, but still not surprising at all to see Sterling. He's been England's best man so far in the tournament. And then we have, these are the big changes. Mason Mount comes into the team again. I suppose because he had picked up an injury. I suppose he's back from his injury, and that's why Southgate is reintroducing him into the team. And then we have, this is a big one, Jadon Sancho finally gets the opportunity to show what he's all about for England. And this is a huge week, huge last 3-4 days for Jadon Sancho. We just got the news in the last couple of days that Jadon Sancho has agreed to terms with Manchester United. or sorry, I think Manchester United has agreed to terms with, or Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund have agreed on the signing of Jadon Sancho. So his signing hasn't really been officially announced yet, but he's essentially a Manchester United player. So it's a huge week for Jadon Sancho, and now he's starting his very first big start for the England national team here against Ukraine in this huge game against the Ukraine in the quarterfinals of the European Championship. So huge start for Sancho, and I'm glad honestly that he's starting. I think it would be a shame for us to go through all the games, all the tournament, and not see this fantastic talent make a start for England, or at least have a lot of minutes for England. Because I mean, anyone that follows Dortmund in the Bundesliga, I mean, he's a superlative talent. So I'm really glad that we're gonna get to see him up front. I like the 4-5-1 formation. Really, if they really go with this formation, I think this is probably the ideal formation. Maybe I'm a little biased because I like this formation, but I think this suits England. It suits England's strengths. You know, Sterling and Sancho, fantastic wingers. Mason Mount, he's at his best when he plays behind the striker. Harry Kane, obviously, but you know, it'd also be true for Calvert-Lewin or Rashford. Good center striker. You know, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, perfect partnership for the middle of the park. You know, very solid defense. So I think this is the ideal position for England, and of course they you know, on the bench they'll still have a lot of options on the bench. I'm not sure what happened to Saka. He might have picked up a knock or something, but because he's not here. But Jack Grealish, awesome option for the second half or extra time if they go extra time. Calvert-Lewin and Rashford, like I said, Phil Foden, obviously great talent. So and Bellingham as well for the middle of the park. So they have a lot of options that can come in the second half if they really need them to, and they probably will, you know, to freshen up the team. So for the Ukraine, I mean, there isn't really much to say here. I mean, Zinchenko is going to play in the middle. That's perhaps slightly surprising. And then big news is the return of Yarmolenko. There were some questions if he was going to be able to start. They start with Yarmolenko and Yaremchuk up front with the 3-5-2 formation. So, but you know, that's not really that surprising. But it's nice to see that Ukraine is going to have a full setup against England. So super excited for this game. And so I just wanted to do this quick video because I think these are interesting changes for England, especially in the lineup. I'm particularly excited to see Sancho in the lineup. So thanks for watching.